Hi, I am Aditya. I am a incoming PhD student at University of Wisconsin Madison, United States of America, and I am an international student from India as an applicant. So I will share my application journey, the total whole journey behind my application of PhD abroad, and hopefully this will help to many students who want to pursue their PhD journey in abroad and. Of course, I will talk about my journey not only in USA. I have applied so many positions also in Europe also. So like the acceptance, rejection, so many things was there in the past few months when I was applying and getting interviewed, and then the result. So hopefully it will be helpful for students. And today, in short, I will. Give a description of all the information you need to know about that. So first of all, I want to introduce myself. That as you know my name, and now I want to tell that my schooling was done in Sudashpur Darika Prasad Uccha Vidyachakra. This is a Bengali medium high school at Raiganj, Uttar Dinajpur at West Bengal, and this is under West Bengal government. And then I have done my Bachelor of Science and Master of Science 3 years and 2 years and in Raiganj University, which is also a public sector university under state government. And I also want to tell that Raiganj University is a very new university and established in 2015. So there was no one to guide me at that moment of pursuing there, and so that's why I want to share more informations on the on with the students who are pursuing their educations from this type of universities, like where maybe no one have went to abroad before. And as I know, like the most of the students who goes for PhD at abroad goes from the big cities like of India, like Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi. So not so many people goes from this type of rural areas. So first of all, at after bachelor's, when I was pursuing my masters, I was very into that. Like I have to crack NET examinations like UGC NET, CSN NET, DBT. So many NETs are there. Like to as a competitive exam, you can crack and then make a good ranking, and on that basis you can join some institutes for your PhD at India. But unfortunately I did not able to crack any exams at that time. And on master on the first semester of MSc, I able to know about Indian Academy of Science Summer Research Fellowship Program, and which turned my total journey of my life. Okay. And so Indian Academy of Science is like a two they conduct a 2 months of summer research fellowship program. I will describe more into a separate video, but when I have got a chance into that, I got a lab at Indian Institute of Science Bangalore through this Indian Academy of Science SRFP program. And I spent 2 months at IISc Bangalore and got the idea of like how people go to abroad. Like there is like before that I have no idea about these things, and that was a more my first knowledge I have gained on PhD abroad. After completion of my Master of Science in Ragan University, I have joined IISc Bangalore again at that lab, and and started working as a project assistant there. So after 2 years of working, I have gained lot of research experience on microbiology, and also published several papers as a first author and second authors, and those will be in screen. And from 2022 May onwards, I have started applying at European PhD positions. So for USA, I have started in the later of the 2022. So I have applied to these 15 universities in United States and several PhD positions in Europe. And Into that I have got accepted into three programs of USA and got lots of interview opportunities from Europe and US. As US and Europe have a different type of application procedures and the timelines, so that's why I will make separate videos on these countries like US, Canada, and in the other hand, Europe. So this will be more helpful to know about these informations, and I will discuss about the timing of applications, requirements, cost of applying, interview process, my journey and experiences and all. So stay tuned for that. And today I will tell about like basic important things which are very common at any type of PhD abroad things. So now I will share some basic idea about what are the five key things which I think personally are very important as a competitive and candidate for PhD abroad. And this is the first one. The first is a good CV and the research experience. So, what is mean by that a good CV? So, good CV is what I think is just to mention all the things which you have done in your life till this moment, and you write in a paper of piece of paper. So but you cannot write all, everything, right? You are a swimming champion or something like that, you cannot write. You can write, but this is not going to help in your PhD application. So that's why you should mention all the academia things, and the research experience is the most key thing they look into when they evaluate your profile. So how to build the research experience is very simple, like go to more internships and work in projects in your university, or build up scientific networks, and also mention about the conferences you have attended. So these are the main things which makes a good CV, and this will make you separate from the other candidates. Also they will see more on how much research experience you have, like how many project work you have done, and like the lab works, how many techniques you know, and like the reports, and like the original research papers, review article if you have published, that's also fine. And like the conference papers, so the original research paper is article if you have published, that is a very good thing. And and always mention about your research project briefly. So if you have done something like a cloning or something, just mention like this gene I have cloned into one bacteria, and then we have seen this thing. So like the aim of the project should be clear, and what is the contribution on that project is should be very clear on that CV with a very briefly, not like you are mentioning that is a that will be, you can do that in a separate part of your application, which is like the cover letter or the statement of purpose writing. So in CV you should briefly mention about your project, and of course I will make a separate video on how to write your curriculum vitae or resume. So the second thing is find your research interest, and search who are the professors working on that field. So it is very important to develop the research of interest, because what is the area you want to work on your future in your PhD. If you don't know that, it is very it will be little bit problem at the time of application. Of course, you can change at any time during your studies, like what you want to work on if you are not thinking about that. But I will say, if you are working on like microbiology, you should be precise on some field, like not very precise like the bacteria or cancer, virus. What is the field of your research of interest, which motivates you to work on this on more and more. So that much clear you should have on your track. And how you will be able to know like this bacteria or cancer is my field, or why the virus is not. So that is only can be done by doing internships and projects. And when you will be able to know that, yeah, this is my field, I want to work on this, then you can choose the area and search on that area how many professors are working on that field, and you can approach to them with your CV, that I have done my researches on this field, and now I have loved your work, and I have read your papers, and now I want to join your lab. So like that it works. And of course, I also want to mention, like, it is absolutely fine if you have worked on a, like, let's assume, like, bacteria, and now after some time you have thinking about, like, I want to work on virus. That is absolutely fine, but you have to like proof that why you are interested, and people will ask, like, you have already worked of 1 years on bacteria, and now you want to move into a different field. How much you are motivated on this, and how you will tackle the first few the initial challenges. So this, you should be aware of that, and if you are really motivated, of course they will take you. So that's all about this, the second topic. And now the third one. So the third one is the networking and communicating via mail. So it is a very important step when you have already clear about your research field, what is the research of interest you want to work on, and now you can start searching what the people working on this, and the good way to search is the you find them in Google Scholar. So now I am going to show you how to search in Google Scholar. Okay, so first go to Google Scholar, and then first link, then right here some area of topic research. Okay. So there will be some papers, articles, but you have to go here and change it to profiles. So now you can see, like, so many professors' names based on the citations. They have sorted it, and you can check, like, now this professor's profile, and mail them. Okay, so let's take this professor, like, randomly. Okay, so go, and you can change here by sorting it to year. So you can see, like, how many papers he have published in 2023. So now you can go for searching, and are you loving these papers? So that's also you can check, like, some immunology papers are there. So now you can search here the profile, and go to the university link. Okay, so he is a professor of, I think, University of Copenhagen, it was written. So now this is the, I think, yeah, so this is the link which will go to the profile of this faculty in Department of Veterinary and Animal Sciences in University of Copenhagen. So now you can check how what on what topic he actually works on. And still he working on not. So professor with special responsibilities. So maybe he is not taking more students. But you can check, of course, put a mail, and maybe putting a mail, of course he will suggest some other new faculties with whom you can contact. So like that, you can search. And another way to search is by going to search by universities. Okay, so for university I will show you, like, US. So if you are searching in a country with, so US rank microbiology uh, in US. So US rank means, like the US News and World Report, who publishes the world rankings, and also QS rankings are also there. Yeah, so for by subject wise ranking. So for, like, this is the best global universities for microbiologists in United States. So like that you can search in any countries or like that. So when you will go into this website, so you will find like so many countries you can also search. So here I have taken United States, and so these are the universities based on the microbiology programs. So these are the best universities. Okay, so now you can check any universities. Okay, so I can go into so let's take University of Pennsylvania. Okay, so now when you have already seen like University of Pennsylvania comes in like 11 best universities for microbiology, you can search directly University of Pennsylvania microbiology. And so this is the first link you can click, as the department name is the microbiology. Sometimes some universities name microbiology can be included in a different department name. Okay, so you can be confused like integrated life science department. So like that you have to go and search, find out. So when you will enter on this website, you will find that there is a separate column. So you can search here in the based on the faculty or the research area. So most of the university will be like that only. There will be separate tab for these things. So by research area, I will recommend to search first like the bacteriology, immunoresponse. So there is like all the things are separate. Biology. So I can go to bacteriology first and check. So as you can see, like all the professors who are working on bacteria, it is mentioned here with the email. So you can go and check also their lab profiles. Like if you go to this profile and check on actually which specific field they are working on. So here it is mentioned all the research expertise, all the things. So you can check, and then if you find out like yeah, so this is the work I want to do, then you can put a mail and check if they are retired or not. Like this is assistant professor, of course, he's working right now. Okay, so like that you can check, mm, make a list of these professors. So like that if you are enjoying his work, so make a word file or excel file and put all the professors name, their email id, and their research area, and then you can make a day to mail to write all the mails together, or as you wish, like if you want to make a mail individually one at a time, that's also fine, but I was doing like that, that I make a list of the all the professors who I want to work with, and then I put their name, email ID, and the research area, and then I make a personalized mail on based on that informations. Okay, and of course, you should not spam all the professors in one day. So uh, of course you should mail more and more on this field from a department, so it is not like you have to mail only one professor of this department. Of course you will make mail all the professors who are working on this field, and then you can reach to them. So if you are using like your Gmail ID, is fine, but if you have a student ID like the institutional ID, it's more good, because sometimes Gmails goes in the spam folders, and they never checks that. So that is one thing, and the mail should be little bit personalized, not be like spam mail you are making and randomly sending to hundred of people's of same mail. So that's actually will not work. A little bit personalization should be there in mails. Take time little bit. Uh, But yeah, so if you are sending hundred of mails, so then let's assume like hundred of mails or personalized mails. So let's assume you will get reply of 25 mails only, and by other 75 maybe you will not get anything. Okay, so and within that 25 only 5 maybe will be a positive good response. Others will tell like we don't have vacancy, or you can apply, I have no grant, or this type of things. And the five mails which you will get, you will be a positive mail, and within that few of them will ask you of course you can apply to our program, you are a very good competitive student, it will be mentioned in the mail. So you can apply, and I am thinking to take a student the next year, so of course you should apply, like that it will be. Or they can tell can we meet in virtually via Zoom or something. So if they are going to meet you, so then it is very high possibility that the person is very interested on your profile, and they are going to take you. So that's why like the more you will mail, and the possibility will be more, as so many emails goes into spam folders, and you will be able to know, and you will not be able to know. So that's why this is a contact thing, and this is very important. I think I feel like so many students afraid about this thing, like how I will do mail, what they will think. So the email thing is the most good thing, because there is no charge, and you can do anyone of the world to mail, by mail. And so that's why it is very important thing to do. And so the fourth thing is the applying on right time, and checking the vacancy and requirements. Okay, so for Europe, the PhD vacancy comes throughout the year, and for United States, it is a very specific time period when you have to apply. So whenever you are searching for PhD positions and getting some notices, there is some vacancy and Max Planck, so you should apply as quick as possible. Okay, so sometimes they don't really uh, wait for up to the deadline. They start evaluating the profiles before the deadline. So actually that should not happen, but you should be safe from your side, that you have already applied, and you don't have to think about if also they starts evaluating the profiles before the deadline. So that is one thing. And for US or Canada, there is a specific time period, as I mentioned, and try to apply within like September to November. Actually it happens, the application you can apply at the time. And of course you should apply within the October. Myself, I did not able to actually did that within October. I have applied within November mid. So that is one thing. And also checking the requirements. So I will make a separate video on the Europe and USA, how much the timeline goes, how the timeline goes, when you should apply, and what are the requirements of every countries and the every universities. And of course I cannot mention for every universities, but still like the overall general idea I will give in those videos. But for now I want to share like the one thing you should be aware of, that one exam, the TOEFL or IELTS. So you should check those things, how much marks they requires in the TOEFL or IELTS exam, or if there is any other alternative options on this English proficiency test. There are sometimes they require only the English proficiency certificate if you have from the university where you have did your BSc and MSc. So that's also, if it can be considered, then you don't need to have like a test. So that is something you have to mail the professor or the academic council of that university, that for this position do I need a English proficiency test, or can I give submit a certificate of English. So those things you should do right on the time, and then only you can apply. So these are the few things to keep in remember. And the last point I want to say is preparing all the documents which is required to apply. So of course it will be different for every applications, but still I have seen like the most common documents which you need are these, like cover letters, SOP, transcripts, certificates, English tests, a letter of recommendations, LORs. So here in these documents, most of the things you can manage yourself, only except the letter of recommendation. So for the letter of recommendation, you should ask the professors. You should have three professors in your hand, and you should ask as the application tells you like how many LORs they need. Normally, generally for Europe, you need just two recommendations. And for USA, you need three letter of recommendations. And I will suggest to give one LOR from your university where you have did your MSc or BSc, and two recommendations or one recommendation from the institute where you are working as a project, or where you have did your internships or dissertation or anything. This is about the LOR. So always check about the eligibility as an international student. So I have found that so many universities of United Kingdom have told that like you cannot apply if you are not from UK, and also in USA also some programs you cannot apply until and unless you have a degree from United States. So sometimes they also mentions about your country requirements. Like if you are from India and applying in USA, you should have a 3 years of bachelor's and 2 years of master's. Or if you are doing a biotechnology course, it is always 4 years of degree, so no problem. As the in USA, like the undergraduate degree is of 4 years, so they directly applies from undergraduate to PhD, and so that's why the requirement is like that if you don't have a 4 years of undergraduate degree, then you should have a master's of 2 years. Hope you are clear on a few things about the PhD abroad thing, and now I will start making and preparing videos on every topic which I have discussed, and more on my journey and experiences I will share. Thank you for that. If you like this video, hit a like and subscribe to my channel, and share this video, as my goal is to make people aware of this PhD abroad path, and the students who cannot get a good rank on CSR net or GATE, this is not the end of the story. Okay, so if you want to be a good researcher, and if you are highly motivated on doing PhD, you can do your PhD from a very good renowned universities. Okay, and from as I have done myself from a backward rural place like Raiganj, you can do it, of course. Okay, and anyone can do it. You just need the Andar Kaag and the guidance. So for that I am here, and so see you on my next video. Tata.